Hello everyone. Let's talk about the book Hooked during today's session. This book is written by Nir Eyal and the concept is how to build habit forming products. So there are certain says about this book. From the Eric Ries, he mentioned that a must read for everyone who cares about driving customer engagement. And as per Stephen, you will read this and hope your competition isn't reading this. Is that good? Now let's understand what this book is talking. So 79% of the smartphone owners check their device within 15 minutes of wake up every morning. That may be less at this point of time. Even if you will miss Facebook, YouTube or Twitter just a few seconds only to find yourself still tapping and scrolling forever. Isn't that true? Actually, we are hooked through consecutive hook cycles, successful products reach their ultimate goal of unprompted user engagement, bringing user back repeatedly without depending on costly advertising or aggressive messaging. Now, what's the benefit of hook model? So, increased customer lifetime value, providing pricing flexibility, supercharging growth, sharpening the competitive edge. These are the benefits of the hooked model. Now, there is a concept of mind monopoly. So, it is creating a mind monopoly as well. Why haven't more Google users switched to Bing? Habits keep user loyal. If a user is familiar with the Google interface, switching to Bing require cognitive efforts. Although many aspects of Bing are similar to Google, even a slight change in pixel placement force the would-be user to learn a new way of interacting with the site. Adapting to the differences in Bing interface is what actually slow down regular Google users and make Bing feel inferior, not the technology itself, because technology may be the same or the different, but it's not about technology, right? For that, there are certain habit zones. So, Googling occurs multiple times in a day, but any particular search is negligibly better than the reveal services like Bing. Conversely, using Amazon may be less frequent occurrence, but the user receive great value knowing they'll find whatever they need at the one and only one everything space. That's why the hook model is. The hook model is a way to describe a user's interactions with a product as they pass through four phases. The phase one is action, trigger, variable rewards, investment. And ultimately, these makes the product more valuable to the user. As the user goes through these phases, he builds habits in process. Trigger. The trigger is the actor of the behavior, the spark plug-in hook model. Habits are not created, they are built upon. What wake you up in the morning? What caused you to brush your teeth? Triggers come in two types, external and internal. External triggers are embedded with information which tells user what to do next. Like in this image, the thirst. It's not about the cold drink. They are selling a solution for thirst. The external triggers may be paid triggers, earned triggers, relationship triggers, own triggers. And internal triggers manifest automatically in your mind. Connecting internal triggers with the product is the brass ring of habit forming technology. Gradually, these bonds cement into a habit as user turn to your products when experiencing certain internal triggers. In the case of internal triggers, the information about what to do next is encoded as a learned association of the user's memory. Now, we can use the 5 byte technology to understand the pain point of the user. In this example, why would Julie want to use email? So she can send and receive the message. Why would she wants to do it? Because she wants to share and receive information quickly. What does she want to do that? to know what's going on in the life of her coworker, friends, and family. Why does she need to know that? To know if someone needs her. Why would she care about that? She fears being out of loop. So, email or the social media platform, what pain point of the user they are solving. So, it is evident to understand what is the actual pain point of the user. Now, action. After the trigger comes the intended actions. Here, companies leverage two pulleys of the human behavior: motivation and ability. To increase the odds of a user taking the intended action, the behavioral design makes the action as necessary as possible, while simultaneously boosting the user's motivation. This phase of the hook draws upon the art and science of usability design to ensure that the user acts the way the designer intend. And there is a fog behavior model. Basically, it's B equal to MAT. B is reference to the behavior, M is motivation, A is ability, and T is trigger. So user must have sufficient motivation, user must have ability to complete the desired action, a trigger must be present to activate the behavior. That's the fog behavior model. So behavior is dependent upon the motivation, ability, and trigger. Now, motivation can be positive, motivation can be negative as well. In first of this example, the both are the example of the helmet. In the first example, it is showcasing that if you not use the helmet, there may be some consequences, like you must be seeing the stitches mark and this handicapped man because he was not using the helmet. And the statement is, I won't wear a helmet, it makes me look stupid. While in the other example, the security forces are wearing the helmet, they are showcasing they can be the role model of the people, that's why people may be following them. So the different motivation, positive and negative, but solving the purpose. The ability. Any technology or product that significantly reduce the steps to complete a task will enjoy adoption rate of the people it assists. Right, in this example, there are different providers, and first on the x-axis it's the ability to create, and the y-axis the percent of user creating the content. So whenever you will be moving in the easier direction, the percent of user creating the content is going high. Take a human desire, preferably one that has been around for the really long time, identify that desire and use modern technology to take take out steps to make the things easier. There are 6 different parameters: time, money, physical effort, brain cycle, social deviances, non-routine. The ease of difficulty of doing a particular action affects the likelihood that the behavior will occur. So these are the 6 elements of the fog behavioral model for the simplicity. Variable reward. What separates hooks from the pain vanilla feedback loop is their ability to create wanting the user. Feedback loops are all around us, but predictable ones don't create desire. The predictable response of your frizz light turning on when you open the door doesn't drive you to keep opening it again and again. However, add some variability to the mix, say a different treat magically appear in your fridge every time you open it, and voila, intrigue is created. You will be opening the door like a lab animal in a Skinner box. Variable schedule of rewards are one of the most powerful tools that companies use to hook users. Research shows that level of dopamine surge when the brain is expecting a reward. There are 3 types of reward. Reward of the tribe. Our brain are adopted to seek rewards that makes us feel accepted, attractive, important, and included. Like Facebook, how many likes? Reward of the hunt. The need to acquire physical objects such as food and other supplies that aid our survival is part of our brain's operating system, like Twitter walls. You keep hunting and scrolling for relevant information, isn't it? Reward for self. People desire, among other things, a sense of competency. Adding an element of mastery to the goal makes the pursuit all more inciting, like online gaming level. Next element is investment. The last phase of the hook is where the user is asked to do a bit of work. This phase has two goals as far as behavior engineer is concerned. The first is to increase the odds that the user will make another pass through the hook that presented with the next trigger. Second, now that the user's brain is swimming in dopamine from the anticipation of the reward in the previous phase, it's a time to pay the bills. Now, at the end, what Nir Eyal suggested the way forward. So, understand for the different parameters what do user really want. It's an internal trigger. Understand the internal trigger. What brings user to the service? External trigger. What is the simplest action user in anticipation of the reward? And how can you simplify your product to make this action easier? It's action. Are users fulfilled by the reward yet left wanting more? Yeah, this is variable reward. What bit of work do users invest in the products? Does it load to the next? Trigger and store value to improve the product with use. That's the investment. So that's the way forward. You can apply all these things to your product to create the hook. Thanks for watching. Subscribe the channel to receive such more videos. Thank you. This is the summary of the hooked with Vikas. Thanks for joining. Thank you.